So I feel like God has given me this awareness that very much is I can do nothing apart from Him. To do anything apart from Him is truly bondage and slavery. And this, when you carry that I can do nothing apart from Him into relationship with Him, it's like I cannot make Him the Lord of my life. I cannot make Him my hope. And what seems to be the process with Him and me is He shows me where I cannot, but where He is honored to. He says, if you try to do it, you will make it a practice of making me the Lord of your life. But this will be too much for you. You cannot grow with me in relationship in your own strength. But this is the thing, and I think we know this, we've heard this, right? Like He must be the one, but I don't think we're aware of just how stagnant our position really is, and how He's the only one that can move us ahead. That He is the only one that can truly promote us. That it seems to be that we are born into this world and we are taught things, and these subtle lies seem to be ingrained in the way that we see things, that we're not even aware to be aware. It's like for Him to be the hope of my life, He's taking me a way in which doesn't make sense to me, right? But He's having me look at it in this way where it's like, who else can be the hope in your life? Because usually when you think about hope, the way that we conceive of it is a hope in a certain outcome to happen, right? Or maybe it's a hope in a person and they have made promises and they've envisioned a future where you can actually find hope in. Or you find it in yourself with your own vision to the future. But whatever it is, it falls short. Because every single human being seems to be on the same playing field. We are the creation. So we cannot have hope in ourselves. And in that way, ultimately, we can't have hope in each other. And we are told this over and over with how death is a thing in this life. That people die. Right? Like everything and everyone seems to be passing away. You don't know who is going to be here tomorrow or what is going to be here tomorrow. And so, but we're positioned, it seems, to find hope, to grab onto hope in these things. Because we don't know, and I think this is where I'm coming back to the beginning of what I was talking about, is I can do nothing apart from Him. I can't make Him the hope of my life because I have no reference point of what that even means. I have no context because nowhere else in my life can someone be hope for me. That doesn't have to do with an outcome or putting it upon me to do something on a day-to-day basis to actually earn or obtain that hope, keep that hope. Right? That seems to be the transactional way of the world. Right? That seems to be what people have been doing in darkness for years and years. Speculating about things and putting hope in things that they think because I'm feeling good today or I'm feeling a certain feeling with the person today that I'm going to continue having this feeling with this person years and years down the line. We bet on this, right? But we do not know what tomorrow holds. We do not know if we will be here tomorrow. And I've had things fall through so many times. So many times. So much false hope. Or it appears to be false hope. And the Lord has had me in my weakness surrender to Him becoming the Lord of my life. Becoming the one who is hope for me when I have no language for what that even is, because it's nowhere else. It's like nowhere else, because He's like in this way taking me through disappointment to show me that He is the hope in disappointment, not in a certain outcome happening, but actually living through the disappointment of all the outcomes that I didn't think that I could live through with Him, to come to find that He is greater than those disappointments, that Him being the hope as a person is greater than the hopelessness that He is having me walk through. It's like he takes you to your biggest fears and takes you through them to show you that he is greater. It's like we don't really have any context until there's some kind of proportional comparison between him being with you in the darkest days, in the days where you feel the most hopeless and there seems to be crushing disappointment, right? It's like you think that we think that hope is like in what we've seen in movies and what has been projected to us as it working out, right? This is what it would look like for it to work out, to find a person, to have a home, to find some kind of stability, something like that, right? But it's not really ever real when you go and try to get it for yourself, or whenever it is on you to practice something, to hold it up. There's not really hope in that because it's in you, and you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow, and you don't know if you're going to have a job tomorrow, and you don't know any of these things. So it's not really anywhere else. It's like he like positions us to be hopeless in every single situation where we are looking to ourselves to accomplish or maintain something. And then he shows up in that place with you and says, you can let this go. You let it go, it all falls apart. And you find that in it falling apart, because he is greater than what you are walking through, you're able to live with ashes. You're able to live and be content in a way that you didn't think that you could be, because his grace shows you that he is greater. He begins to establish himself in your life as the hope, the anchor. That we can't make him that, because we don't know anything about what that is. Because our whole life seems to tell us that everything is passing away. And even having this hope in this invisible person is crazy. So he has to even meet us there. Give us the Holy Spirit that makes Jesus real to us. But it's still very much a surrendering in the place that we can't do anything relationally to move on, to progress, to be promoted, any of those things, right? Because we have no context of what a promotion looks like, or like what it actually is. And then you take the individual into the relationship with God, and you find that each person has an individual fingerprint and has an individual voice and all of these things. Like, you were made uniquely. And so you cannot really see someone else's vision that they've had of their life and it going well and say, I can do those things and get what that person has. What that person has is not what is for you. And he has what is for you. And he knows the blueprint of your life. But hope being a person, how do you even grab onto that? I think that you surrender in this free-falling kind of way, and grace has him reach out and grab you in hopelessness and show you continually as you walk through what feels hopeless and disappointed. As you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you begin to fear no evil because you find he is with you. He is establishing himself and making himself known in your life. But everything else is telling us everything's passing away. And so I can't make him my hope. I can't make him my Lord. And I think in that place, the world is like, you should be ashamed of what you can't do. But with him, he's like, I honor you in your weakness. This is something I'm delighted to do, so that I can show you my power in your weakness. I will flourish this relationship. I will take us through these dark places for you to see that I am greater than those dark places. This is how you will learn. This is how you will come to know. You will find me in hopelessness. Then you will have the proportional context of what hope looks like in a person, that he's not promising a specific thing that will happen, but saying that I will make it worth it to you. And then there's this promise, this currency, there's this exchange, there's this dialogue, and you're just like, I don't know anything, but it's not going to be on me, because he has taken the reference point of trust away from me. I'm not looking to me anymore, and he has made himself the hope in my life. As I see that everything else around me, I cannot put hope in. All the work of his hands.